not be aware of it on a day-to-day basis, but Africa, the continent that has always been forgotten, is experiencing what some consider to be the greatest demographic takeoff in the history of mankind. This growth, far from slowing down, has skyrocketed in recent decades and promises to mark a turning point in the very history of mankind. Africa has been responsible for only 1/5 of the world's population growth since 1950. But now, all of that is changing completely. Culture, religion, even politics, everything, absolutely everything is pro-natalist in Africa. And believe me when I tell you that they've got their act together. Oh boy, have they ever. Once you realize the scale of it, well, let's just say your head is kind of likely to explode. Africa's population was estimated at just 124 million people. Today, there are already 1.34 billion Africans. While the population of Asia multiplied between 3 and 4 times, the African population multiplied by 11 times. As a comparison, during the Industrial Revolution, Europe's population barely doubled. We are therefore talking about an unprecedented growth in the entire history of mankind as a species. But that is just the beginning. United Nations estimates suggest that by 2050, the population of Africa will exceed 2.4 billion people. In other words, if in 1980, 1 out of every 10 people in the world were African, by the middle of this century, in just a couple of decades, approximately 1 in 4 people on Earth will be from that continent.
Problems we have as people and as individuals in loving each other romantically, you must recognize in good part that problem and those problems have been set up by a political social system. Because we shall see that the love that we have for one another is the greatest threat to the people who rule over us. And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way.
Will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it.
Sees the only hope for the black man in America in a strong Africa, and the necessity of the Afro-American becoming inseparably linked with the overall program that's existing on the African continent. The two problems must be solved together, and the two forces must go forward together. And so the Organization of Afro-American Unity has a program to link the Afro-Americans with the Africans and the Africans with the Afro-Americans. When I say Afro-Americans, I mean those throughout the entire Western Hemisphere. This is our only hope. Our hope is in a strong Africa. And when Africa is strong, our position in America will be one of respect. But if Africa is weak, we will never be in a position of respect in America.